The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
It is a crime pattern that's been happening far too often in all parts of town. The rise in mail thefts and what law enforcement can do to bring it down.
Also, plumbing problems, and it's happening at the Bexar County Justice Center. What's causing it and why it's a bigger problem than you may think.
But first, we begin tonight with the weather and the chance for rain this evening.
I mean, we've been talking about this since, actually for a few days, and we're excited about that. For that, let's turn on over to meteorologist Adam Caskey for the very latest. So what are we looking at there?
Well, not everybody's getting hit, of course. We weren't expecting that, but some communities are lucking out, especially from roughly Hallettsville westward toward Gonzales and Lavaca County, Gonzales County, a decent amount of action, and even in Medina County, which actually has some of the worst drought in our area. But this outflow boundary just pushed through from the thunderstorms that really collapsed in Karnes County, Kennedy area, Falls City. And that outflow boundary has triggered some isolated downpours near Helotes, Gray Forest, and even the Rim, all the way around 1604 in that construction zone. Some light rainfall from that. Overall rainfall accumulations generally under half an inch. That's that bright blue color. But where you see the greens on the map, that's a half inch to even over an inch in some spots. We'll have a closer look at this in a few minutes, and a slight chance of rain tomorrow, plus what's happening in the tropics. New tropical storm. See you in a bit.
Adam, thank you. From east to west, north to south, there's hardly a neighborhood in our area that mail thieves, frankly, haven't targeted. It's something that we've been covering for months.
But lately, a few mail theft suspects have been stopped in their tracks. Katrina Weber shows us how timing and technology help them catch the suspects.
You've seen some of their faces before, like those of 37-year-old Cecily Beltran and 29-year-old Marcos Martinez Jr., featured on KSAT 12 News last month. As we reported then, sheriff's deputies said they stopped them on a hunch, then found a load of mail in their car stolen from a cluster box in this West Bexar County neighborhood.
This is like the norm that's happening more this past year.
Neighbors told us at that time this kind of crime happens too often. We've been covering mail thefts, some involving counterfeit keys, for more than a year. Now, law enforcement is catching up by catching some of the suspected crooks. Last week, deputies arrested this father and son in one mail theft case and this man in another. San Antonio police say they have proof this man stole mail from a senior apartment complex on Fredericksburg Road.
It's not fair for someone to come in here and just take whatever they want. That's not theirs.
If some people are still receiving their checks in their mail, I can understand where they're going to lose out.
Timing and technology, though, seem to be helping investigators have a bit of a winning streak. In this arrest, law enforcement happened to be in the right place at the right time, noticing a suspicious car and finding the stolen mail. But in this case, someone was watching, seeing the theft in real time, all due to cameras that they have set up here. Cameras did work this time.
Yes, they did.
I'm glad it worked, yeah.
There are a few small victories in a big crime wave. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight is National Night Out. It's an event aimed at building stronger relationships between police officers and their communities.
It's happening right here in San Antonio as well. Our John Paul Barajas is over at a gathering over on General McMullen. So, John Paul, we know that you've had the chance to speak with some of the neighbors there. What have they told you?
Well, so far, everyone's having an amazing time. You can hear the music in the background. They got a live DJ. People were killing it, getting down on the dance floor. They have music, they have food, they have drinks. They also have games. I'm gonna give it a shot right here at ring toss from distance. I have not practiced. We'll see how well I can do. But this is so much more than just me not being good at ring toss. All of these tents right here, all of these booths, these are resources for the community. And it's also so much more than just the resources. It's about community engagement, getting people out here to meet their neighbors, talk to them, build relationships, and then also meet their first responders, those people who are taking care of them and coming to them in the line of defense when they need it most. Take a listen to what one person had to say.
I love it. You know, they have the resources here, different resources, letting people know what's out there, the help that's out there, and it's free. And you get to enjoy it with your kids, so it's fun. I mean, I love the idea of it.
It's fun. She said it herself. This is an amazing event, having a good time, but also making a difference while doing it. We'll go ahead and toss it back to you guys.
John Paul, calm under live pressure with the ring toss there. JP, thank you. A fast food mix-up ends with 7 people in jail. It happened early Sunday morning about 3 a.m. at the Whataburger on Blanco Road in Bitters. San Antonio police say an argument over mixed-up food orders led to a brawl between 2 groups of people. Now, while no one was seriously hurt here, officers say that 7 people were arrested and charged with assault.
Now, a Corpus Christi area jury will determine the fate of a former Uvalde CISD officer. Avian Gonzalez faces 29 counts of endangering a child for his response to the 2022 Robb Elementary School shooting. And his attorney told KSAT that the court made that decision to move the trial over to Nueces County. Nico LaHood says that Gonzalez felt like he just wouldn't get a fair trial over in Uvalde.
He's always maintained the same stance that he's innocent, that he did nothing wrong but try to help those children that day. And there's evidence that he tried to help those children. And I know he wants it over, but our job is to make sure it gets over properly.
The judge overseeing the case told ABC News that Gonzalez's trial is set to begin on January 5th. Former Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo also facing charges, and the judge told ABC News that that case is on hold because of a lawsuit. The Uvalde County DA is suing U.S. Customs and Border Protection to have agents who responded to the shooting testify in that case. You know, a clogged toilet, not exactly something that you would expect to stop a murder trial.
But that is exactly what happened inside the Bexar County Justice Center after inmates apparently stuffed a toilet with something, causing water to flood a courtroom.
Our Erica Hernandez shows us how that plumbing problem turned into a major disruption, and apparently it's an issue that's come up before.
That was the entrance of 2 courtrooms at the Cadena Reeves Justice Center last week. Water can be seen spilling out of the light fixtures into the courtrooms as well as out the doors.
It destroyed our carpet and our ceiling in our entryway, and that it put us on hold for what we're going to do with the jury trial.
Judge Frank Castro was presiding over a murder trial in his courtroom at the time. With no available courtrooms in the Justice Center, they had to walk over here next door to the county courthouse. But that in itself also presented other logistical issues.
Everything was a learning experience for us. Some of the microphones and how they echoed it for everybody, it was different. And some of the jurors were saying they had some issues hearing, so we all had to play with that, the attorneys, and to make sure we made it good for them.
The issue of flooding at the Justice Center is something that has happened before. In 2023, these photos sent to us of a hallway and offices flooded on the 3rd floor.
If you go back 20 years, it had a plumbing problem.
Judge Rosie Speedling Gonzalez says at times there's a stench in the Justice Center.
We had a problem in County Court 7 across the hallway when Monica Guerrero, it was Judge Monica Guerrero presiding over family violence. And there was this lingering stench and no one could figure it out, and no one for a long time, and it happened to be a leak in the back in the holding cell. It was a sewage leak.
On Friday, she let her staff go early because the smell from the flooding below her was so bad.
It does slow down any access to justice because people need to go home and the public cannot access courts.
We contacted Bexar County to ask about the issue. The spokesperson in a text said the facilities department told her that plumbing issues outside clogged toilets and stopped up drains are unusual at the Justice Center. We have yet to get any answers on how much this would all cost in repairs and how it's paid for. As for Castro's courtroom, repairs were almost complete and is expected to reopen on Wednesday. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at a traffic issue out there. We've been watching really for the last hour since 5 o'clock. This area, I-35 at Flores, the southbound lanes, things have been slow going. This is right there at past I-10 as it widens its way through downtown, approaching Highway 90. You can see those orange barrels off to the side there, has lanes blocked off. This is an ongoing traffic issue that really slows traffic down every day at this time and seems to be doing the same here this evening.
His job was to monitor the use of procurement cards by university employees, but Daniel Garza says that he stepped down from that role after he flagged some purchases made by high-ranking A&M San Antonio employees, only to have those complaints ignored. The questionable expenditures included technology bought without prior IT approval, high-priced meals, and also alcohol.
I would still report these infractions because I feel it was my duty.
Tonight on the Night Beat, Garza explains why a recent KSAT Investigate story convinced him to come forward.
The time is now to make sure you know what you're voting on come Election Day. And funding for a new Spurs arena is on the ballot. So I'm getting you answers in a new KSAT Explains.
Why can't the Spurs pay for an entire new arena all on their own?
What if it doesn't happen and the city doesn't get the money it's expecting from that?
People remember a great plan that was supposed to happen with the AT&T Center, and it didn't.
If this does not pass, if the Spurs don't get a new arena downtown, do they leave San Antonio?
Wednesday on the news at 6, KSAT explains Spurs arena funding. I explain not only what is on the ballot, but also what the Spurs and the city of San Antonio could pay and what that means for you and your tax dollars. It is an all-new KSAT Explains Wednesday, right here on the news at 6. Earlier today, the KSAT newsroom was a space for a life-saving conversation.
This afternoon, our Courtney Friedman led a KSAT community town hall about fentanyl awareness. A former DA agent, a state representative, and 2 angel moms, which are parents who have lost their kids to fentanyl poisoning, were part of that panel. And they explained that fentanyl is in a lot of street drugs, but also mainly in fake prescription pills.
They also demonstrated how to use Narcan. That's the medicated nose spray that can save someone's life if they're poisoned or overdosing on an opioid like fentanyl. The moms explained it is crucial to talk to kids even as young as 9 or 10 years old.
What is your message to parents who are a little nervous naturally to talk to their kids about this?
Keep the lines of communication always open with your children and allow your children to come to you with information without freaking out. Yeah. Letting your child know you can come to me. It's a safe space for you to come to me.
So many things were discussed, and one of the goals also of today's town hall was to invite you to the 3rd annual Souls Walking for Souls Fentanyl Awareness Walk. San Antonio, by the way, was the first place to have an event like this in the entire state, and the Angel Moms were the ones who organized it.
So it is this Sunday from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Green Line at Brooks City Base. There will be speakers from all sides of this issue, a 1-mile walk, a resource fair, and community connection. Courtney will be emceeing that event, and we hope to see you there. Much more still to come here on the news at 6, including our continued coverage of domestic violence cases here in Bexar County. We're hearing from survivors and explaining why these cases can take so long to move through the justice system.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early?
She sang her heart out this weekend at the Panthers-Dolphins game, and now a local Tejano singer, Jenny B, is back home. She told me what it was like to bring a little Alamo City flavor to the NFL. You'll hear it after the break. Making San Antonio proud. Local Tejano singer Jenny B didn't just take the stage at this weekend's Panthers-Dolphins game. She set it on fire. And now that she's back home, Jenny B is reflecting on that experience and also what it could mean for Tejano music. This weekend, when Jenny B sang the national anthem, she did it on one of the world's biggest stages. Did it feel like you were a little bit out of place because you are this Tejano singer and you're in the Carolinas, right?
Absolutely not. I felt right at home. I wasn't nervous, even when we got out, and I can just see it now, like all those people that were there, it felt right.
And it feels right now that Jenny's back home. She's had time to reflect and says her experience was bigger than just her. She hopes it's a sign that Tejano music, a sound so deeply embedded in San Antonio culture, gets more mainstream attention.
It's just a matter of moving forward, the genre moving forward. That's really what it's going to take, being open-minded to new artists and new sounds within Tejano.
But there's one thing Jenny told us she doesn't want to see change. She's a through and through San Antonian. And like many San Antonians, there's only one football team that has her support.
Oh, Cowboys. Hey, give me a call.
So she's hoping to one day sing before the Cowboys.
She's saying, Jerry, call me.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to say, she was just so lovely to speak with, and I'm so glad that she has that platform. And I just know that she's going to go so far because she's super talented, and she has an energy and a kindness that's just infectious.
Yeah.
It's nice.
We're glad we get to call her ours.
Yes.
Here in San Antonio. All right, let's take a look outside with live cam. Adam, we were talking about today's the day for some lucky folks to actually see some rain.
Yeah, and you see a little remnant shower off in the distance there, just northwest of downtown off I-10 and just west of I-10 really in northwest Bexar County. And yeah, tomorrow it's a 10% chance and then we're completely dry. There will be a subtle change in the extended forecast, and that's mornings back down in the mid 60s by Friday through the weekend because of lower humidity. Otherwise, we are high and dry, but there's actually a lot to talk about that's going on out there. First of all, the rainfall from today, then we'll get to the current radar. Upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 inch in parts of Timberwood Park up toward Bulverde. You see up I-10, even Helotes off Bandera Road, 0.4, 1/10 to 1500ths of an inch, Scenic Oaks, all the way to Bernie, Fair Oaks Ranch. And in the hill country, actually some decent accumulations, particularly in southeastern Kerr County and eastern Kerr County, upwards of 1 inch just along and south of I-10. Here's what we have out there right now. The most recent development is part of this outflow boundary that's been kickstarting new showers as they do. They act like a little mini front almost to help lift the air and generate these showers that you see popping up right here from Hondo northward into northern Medina County. And these could easily drop another 1/2 inch to 1 inch or so in these areas. Going forward here just over the next 30 to 60 minutes would pretty much be it. Then you head eastward, and the action we've had in Gonzales County and Lavaca County starting to fizzle out and taper off. But you see this green line? That's the outflow boundary I was talking about that can kickstart new showers around Canyon Lake, soon to be San Marcos, Wimberley, and even up towards Sisterdale and Fisher. Can't rule out a quick shower over the next hour, hour and a half from that outflow boundary. Otherwise, it's starting to fizzle out and will continue to do so after sunset, especially as we lose that daytime heating. Then tomorrow, the off chance of a few stray showers. Now, I know this futurecast is, for some reason, really into developing some showers in parts of the hill country tomorrow morning. I mean, I think that's the rare exception, and I think it's a little aggressive in that. But hey, if we see it, more power to you. I just don't anticipate it to actually happen. And then we get into the afternoon, similar to today, between 2 p.m. and about 8 p.m. is the primary window of opportunity. And as I always say, don't pay close attention to the exact location of these showers at any given time. They could pretty much be anywhere on the map. As I showed you in the extended forecast, the rain shuts off because the upper level high really strengthens overhead and then stays here for several days, and it's going to deflect all the much needed moisture away from us. There will be some areas of rain not too far away, but it's not going to make it to our neck of the woods. I do want to get to Tropical Storm Jerry. This was that area we were watching of likely development. Now, this is very likely to be steered toward Bermuda before being pushed out into the North Atlantic. And right now, odds favor east of Bermuda. An upper level trough is going to move in and push this away from the east coast of the U.S. 93 our high temperature today. Look at that. 8 degrees above average. The record 99, set back in 1937. Right now we're at 86. Nice outflow move through, so a little temperature drop. Dew point, though, of 66. We have that high humidity. Dewy's in the 60s and 70s, so that's that muggy to tropical category. But as I showed you in the extended forecast, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the air is much drier. We get rid of that high humidity, and that means cooler mornings, okay? I'm putting it in air quotes because it's going to drop us back to average in the mid 60s, not necessarily fall like crisp mornings. 86 right now, 85 at 8 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, we're 81 degrees, and tomorrow morning, starting the day right near 70, 86 at noon, 90 the high temperature. That's 91 Castroville, 89 Bulverde, 93 Floresville, and Sabinal at 91. Then in the extended forecast, again, really the only changes are a drop in the humidity, which will be welcomed. It'll feel nice, but unfortunately no good rain chances. We have Hurricane Priscilla in the Pacific, where that's going to dump and help make some good rain in just a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you.
Let's talk about Carter Bryant.
Yeah.
Had a good showing last night.
He did. His first game, preseason game in the NBA. He played in the Summer League a little bit, but his first NBA preseason game. And Carter Bryant put on a show with 15 points last night. And after the game, he told us just how much he enjoys talking with Greg Popovich and learning from him. And Jeff Traylor in college football is defending his starting quarterback. Coming up.
No, I don't think you can ever get used to that. I know, just seeing him walk around every day, it just is like, bro, there's no way this dude is real.
Carter Bryant is talking about Wemby and the things that he can do on the court in big board sports. Last night, Spurs rookie Carter Bryant scored 15 points in their 119-88 win against the Long Lions from the Chinese Basketball Association. Bryant played 23 minutes and shot 6 for 11 from the field. He also had 2 steals and 1 assist. Now, the 19-year-old was excited to play in his first NBA preseason game, and he is beyond thrilled to learn from Greg Popovich.
I mean, today after practice, Coach Pop was there, and I think I sat with him for like 15, 20, maybe even 25 minutes, just kind of bombarding him with questions. I was just sitting there. It's dope. It was my childhood. I got to see him win a lot. So I think for me, just being able to see him, like have him in my presence and be in his presence and understand like I can go walk and sit down next to him and he knows who I am and he's going to try to do everything in his power to give me knowledge when I ask. And even when I don't ask, he's come up to me and I'm like, this is insane. Like, this is ridiculous. I remember I was working out one time and he, like, in the middle of the workout, like, Tim was with him. Like, he walked on the court, was like, I want you to focus on these things. Like, if you do this, you're going to be good. It's a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have a powerful basketball mind like him.
It's got to be pretty cool. Bryant and the Spurs will play at the Miami Heat tomorrow night in their second preseason game. UTSA football lost its conference opener at Temple Saturday 27-21, falling to 2-3 overall this season. And some fans are calling for the Roadrunners' offensive and defensive coordinators to be let go. And some even want Coach Traylor to bench QB1 Owen McCown, who passed for 234 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks against the Owls. And here's Coach Traylor standing up for his guys.
No, there's 100% no chance in hell that's been discussed, thought about, and will ever happen. I've said that since the beginning of time with me. I'm not in the quarterback shuffling game. I stayed with Frank Harris, and everybody wanted the same stuff. I'm riding with McCowan. So everybody's got that opinion. They're barking up the wrong tree. I will not budge on that.
Is there any, I guess, under any condition where you would consider changing who calls the offensive plays?
Zero. Never been a possibility. It won't be.
Traylor and the Roadrunners will host Rice for homecoming Saturday night at 6:30 at the Alamo Dome. And we've got a sweet day of college football this Saturday here in KSAT 12, Alabama and Missouri at 11 a.m. Oklahoma and Texas will face off at the Cotton Bowl at 2:30 p.m. in the Red River rivalry. And KSAT 12 Sports will be there. Photog Adam Higgins and reporter Mary Rominger. And the final game will have Georgia at Auburn kicking at 6:30 p.m.
You are going to be on a team playing for a WNBA championship. What comes to mind when you hear those words?
I'm just thinking about, the little girl that picked up a ball when she was 5.
KSAT 12 Sports' Mary Rominger Zoom with Phoenix Mercury guard Kiana Williams before the WNBA Finals tipped off. You can hear that interview tonight at 7 on KSAT Sports Now. The Mercury are trailing Nalissa Smith and the Aces 2-0.
Right. Thank you.
You got it.
Still to come here at 6:30, why domestic violence cases in Bexar County can take so long to see justice. Next. We are continuing our in-depth coverage of the domestic violence case backlog here in Bexar County. Courtney Friedman has talked to survivors and state agencies. She's been to the DA's office, which takes those cases in, and also the felony courts.
And now she's taking on the misdemeanor courts. That's where the bulk of domestic violence cases actually go. The backlog there is complicated for several reasons. It's part of Courtney's series on domestic violence, Loving in Fear.
Domestic violence is such a rampant issue in Bexar County. There are 2 misdemeanor courts dedicated just to those cases. Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez's County Court 13 and Judge Melanie Lira's County Court 7. Both inherited enormous domestic violence case backlogs years ago, which consist of two types of cases. Those that are filed, meaning judges can move them along, and those that are unfiled, meaning the district attorney's office is still reviewing them.
And then if they decide to go forward with the charges, then it'll be a random assignment to either County Court at Law 7 or County Court at Law number 13.
The backlog used to lump filed and unfiled cases together. So in January of 2023, there were more than 2,300 total pending cases for both of the misdemeanor courts. In January 2024, there were just under 1,600 cases. But last year, misdemeanor court administrators noticed the number of unfiled cases from the DA's office was spiking, so they decided to track them separately. Turns out over 80% of the current backlog is unfiled cases. So here are this year's numbers. In January, both courts had a total of 891 filed cases and over 2,200 unfiled cases. This month, it is 559 filed and just over 3,000 unfiled. So the judges' backlog numbers are dropping while the unfiled DA's cases are rising.
We have roughly about 550 filed cases between the two courts. So let's say theoretically it's 250 apiece. That is very little. We could handle that probably in a week if we wanted to.
But for the thousands of unfiled cases, judges are still in charge of keeping track of those accused perpetrators, which now means lots of hearing resets.
When this process first started, it was 30-day reset.
But the defendants kept coming back every month just to hear their case still wasn't filed.
So then we extended that to 60 days. That grew to 90 days, and now we're at 120 days.
That's a long time.
It is a long time.
What does that backlog, even if it's pre-file, mean for the survivors themselves?
Anxiety, uncertainty, for many, continued behaviors at the hands of their abuser. So in some cases, even the risk of a homicide.
When you're not moving forward on cases, it's keeping people in the cycle of violence.
What do you think the answer is?
Money. You have great protocols, great people performing, but when you don't give them the proper training because you don't have the right amount of funding, when you don't pay them enough, it's not going to get done.
In our story last week on the DA's office case backlog, they mentioned funding was key, that they'd asked Bexar County for attorney raises but didn't get it this go around. The county saying they'd already given them more money and prosecutors. In a statement to KSAT for this story, the DA's office reiterated, over the past several years, the Bexar County District Attorney's Office has been experiencing a massive staffing shortage, which has had a huge impact on the current misdemeanor case backlog. While attorney recruitment has been improving, our employee retention continues to be a challenge. We believe the best way to remedy this issue is through higher wages.
Do you believe the answer to this is funding?
Not necessarily. I know that there's been conversations about the pay for the prosecutors. When we are facing a staffing issue of 50% or less being staffed at this point, the positions are open. It's a matter of getting them filled. I do think there is some merit to it. I just don't think it's the root cause of the problem.
So what's the answer?
A better policy, more hands-on on reviewing these types of cases.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Scan this QR code if you or someone you know is dealing with a domestic violence situation, because that QR code will take you straight to a list of available resources. Please, please don't suffer in silence. We'll be right back after this. About 33,600 women in the U.S. will be diagnosed with lobular breast cancer this year. Just let that sink in. That number is actually coming from the American Cancer Society.
And there's still a lot that researchers don't know about it. Japhanie Gray explains why this type of breast cancer presents itself differently.
It's a lesser-known breast cancer that develops in a patient's milk-producing glands, and cases of lobular breast cancer are on the rise in the U.S.
Most people aren't familiar with this subtype, and I think it's because the short-term prognosis is very good.
But Rebecca Siegel with the American Cancer Society says if there's a delayed detection of this type of breast cancer, long-term prognosis for advanced disease is not good. She's the senior author of a report that found there is a critical need for more research into the specific disease.
We need to distinguish this cancer in clinical trials so that we can find more effective treatments, because incidence rates are actually increasing quite steeply, more steeply than for other types of breast cancer.
Because tumors in those with lobular breast cancer grow in a linear pattern or maybe spread out, Siegel says that they don't form a lump like other breast cancers and can be harder to detect during a mammogram. So she says women need to watch out for other signs, including nipple inversion, hardening of the breast skin, or dimpling of that skin. If these symptoms are consistent over a week or two, she says, go see a doctor.
Adjuvant chemotherapy doesn't really work. So we need to distinguish this cancer in clinical trials so that we can find more effective treatment.
Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Now let's take a live look outside. 86 degrees out there right now. Obviously, we're not getting rain here in town, but west of us, apparently that's where some of the action is taking place right now.
At least somebody's seeing it. Adam Caskey will have your forecast right after the break. Hundreds of nonprofits in San Antonio say the government shutdown is adding to a long list of funding issues they're already up against, and they're worried about staying afloat.
Thousands of people right in our community depend on those very nonprofits. Devin Karp shares how you can help your favorite causes, but don't think of them as charities. Instead, think of them as investments.
Whether you've got kids in daycare or loved ones spending time in a community senior center.
They really try to make us happy in their own ways.
A nonprofit in San Antonio has probably helped your life in ways you might not even know about.
We are a foundational element, not just with a do-good mission work that we do, but we are actually an economic driver and force for the health of our communities.
But now hundreds of different nonprofits are coming together for their first All Hearts on Deck, telling the community they're in trouble.
We need to be able to find ways to support our nonprofits at this time because so many of them are at risk of closing down. Several already have.
They say that donations from corporations and individuals are down because of an uncertain economy with tariffs and inflation. And when you combine that with budget cuts and a government shutdown affecting federal funding.
And it's usually reimbursed. You deliver the service and then you're reimbursed. So during this time of uncertainty and cuts, really important decisions are being made where nonprofits are serving not knowing if they'll ever be paid for those services.
That's why they're encouraging people to donate their time, talent, or money to a cause you care about.
Every dollar invested in a nonprofit yields $11 in return. 87,000 San Antonians and Bexar Countyans are employed by nonprofits. We're a major provider. We're worthy of this advocacy and this care and feeding for how we serve our community.
It's something Rochelle cares about after the Presa Community Center was shut down before it got taken over by Family Services. Something she doesn't want to see happen to any other nonprofit.
Because it's been open for a long time. I don't know exactly how many years, but it has been open a long time. And I hope it stays up longer for other people to enjoy. It really is great.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, you walk outside today, you notice first thing, the air is just so thick out there. It is so humid.
Rain would make it better,
Yeah.
but only some people have had that relief.
Yeah, any humidity or not, we won't have anything to make rain really in the days ahead. A 10% chance tomorrow. But today, actually, a few communities really cashing in nicely on these downpours, especially just west of San Antonio, from Hondo all the way up toward Lake Hills, Medina Lake Reservoir area. Just missing Rio Medina, but these are some pretty healthy downpours just outside of Pipe Creek as well, but along Highway 16 here, Bandera Road. That's the best rain that we have at the moment, and some pretty hefty downpours within there. Take a look at the last hour and you see this development. Outflow boundary kicking off these showers that we have here in northeastern Medina County. And keep in mind, it's Medina County especially, but also Bexar County that are in the worst drought categories in our area. As for overall rainfall accumulations, let's take a look at that. And not bad, actually. I mean, for some lucky areas out there, and especially some of the ranches out in Medina County and southeastern Bandera County, just south of Bandera Falls, 1.1 inches. You're just east of 173.8, just west of it, 1.3. So nothing to sneeze at, right? For most of us, not much or nothing, but there were some winners today, some small areas, especially south and east. Karnes County again today, all the way down toward Goliad, Kennedy, and even toward Beeville as well, with some moderate accumulations. Big picture here. The showers and storms are slowly fading away, and so will the patchy clouds as well, as we lose the daytime heating from the sun and that energy from the sun. And then tomorrow, for some reason, this model is just wanting to have a little bit of rain in the hill country. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, we'll take it. I just don't think that's a likely scenario. Then tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., more highly isolated development. A few stray showers popping up really anywhere on the map. But take from this more than anything, this computer model, the aerial coverage, which is about 10 to 20% of south central Texas. And then going forward, we're dry. Upper level high is going to strengthen and keep us dry. So a 10 to 20% chance tomorrow, and then high and dry thereafter through the weekend and into next week. So Hurricane Priscilla, Category 2 hurricane. This is just south and west of Cabo San Lucas, and this is heading northward, and it's likely to weaken a bit over the next couple of days. But remember, when these systems weaken, they still have remnant rain-making energy and moisture, tropical moisture with them. So notice the path of this, and then how the rain spreads in northwestern Mexico and especially Arizona and New Mexico, parts of West Texas and the Panhandle, even getting in on some of the tropical moisture coming in from the Pacific. Unfortunately, upper level high is blocking that away from us. But keep in mind, Arizona, New Mexico, they need the rain too. You look at the drought monitor, and they're in rough shape with the extreme and exceptional droughts across most of those states. Here, of course, we need the rain too, and it's Medina County, Bexar County, where we have some of the worst drought in our area. Jerry, now we can cross off the list because that's the newest tropical storm way out in the Atlantic, and that's likely to stay way offshore, closer to Bermuda by the end of this weekend, and then move into the North Atlantic. We actually have an upper level trough, a little disturbance that's going to steer that away from the east coast of the U.S. 86 right now at the airport. By 10 o'clock, we're down to 81, midnight 77, near 70 in the morning, 90 in the afternoon tomorrow, give or take a couple of degrees. 88 Bernie, for example, Gonzales and Nixon, 93. And then we do have one subtle change. By Friday through the weekend only, lower humidity, drier air, meaning mornings, little cooler in the mid-60s.
Okay, and we have light the night.
Oh, that's right. We do on Saturday.
On Saturday.
It will be nice for light the night. It'll be great.
Perfect.
Good
Thanks,
stuff.
Adam. Let's take a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC's Prime Time. At 7 o'clock, right after this show, it is Dancing with the Stars. Then at 9, it's High Potential, followed by the Night Beats at 10. This is it. This demolition site could be the future home of a new downtown Spurs arena. So what questions do you have about this huge project? Scan that QR code to let us know. Coming up on Wednesday, I'm taking your questions to Spurs ownership to get you answers.
We also want to keep talking about the Spurs, like the actual team, because, you know, it's the preseason, but they've been doing some good stuff on the court.
Preseason opener, and they dominated. Let's go to Larry Ramirez, who is in the newsroom standing by with a preview of KSAT Sports Now. Hey, Larry.
Hey, guys. So, yeah, the Spurs definitely dominated last night in their preseason opener. And one of the exciting duos to watch last night was 7-footers Luke Cornett and Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs were really excited to pick up Cornett during the offseason, because they really want to see those two 7-footers play off each other with the pick and rolls. And then when it comes to rim protection, they are two of the best in the NBA. So it's an exciting duo to watch. And we're going to hear from head coach Mitch Johnson tonight talking about those two. And these are also some of the other topics right here that we're talking about tonight. We've got 4 and Out with myself and Mary Rominger. And Mary is also going one-on-one with Kiana Williams, who's playing in the WNBA Finals right now for Phoenix, and they are taking on the Las Vegas Aces. And of course, Nalissa Smith from San Antonio is on that team. And probably the best thing we're talking about tonight, unique college courses. It's crazy what courses they have out there, from the theory of football to barbecue to learning about the devil and vampires on TV and in film. It's crazy. So we're going to take you around the newsroom and hear what the KSAT 12 people, what courses they would be interested in taking. KSAT Sports Now comes up at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock. We'll be right back after the break.
That is all our time here on the News at 6. Thanks so much for watching.
And we'll see you right back here on the night beat. Have a lovely dinner break. Good night.